Hey Techstars, Liam here. I've been checking out a game called Disney Dreamlight Valley that released on Steam recently from Gameloft. Now, this was a personal purchase and my opinion is completely unbiased. And I wouldn't say I was a huge Disney fan either, so that doesn't really affect my thoughts. Now, Gameloft in particular aren't exactly a well-liked developer, especially on Steam, where their previous releases were free to play with lots of microtransactions and they just weren't very good. But hey, right now they're doing a fully paid game for Disney, so it kind of had to be better, right? Well, not quite. You're paying for early access, you get a founders pack, but once it's out of early access, it will once again be free to play. They claim that the in-game transactions at that point will only be of the cosmetic variety, so there's no bonus, energy, time skipping, none of that rubbish. It remains to be seen how well they do with that, but so far, so good. To my and many people's surprise, it's actually a pretty good game. It has a very positive rating on Steam, and plenty of journalists elsewhere are gushing about how it's a Disney version of Animal Crossing meets Stardew Valley. For Steam Deck and Linux Desktop, it does work quite well, and I would recommend first switching over to Proton Experimental. To do that, head to the games page, to the little cog icon on the right, into the properties, go to compatibility, tick the box, and then in the drop down just select Proton Experimental. Otherwise, I did find with the default Proton 7 that there were some crashes that I haven't seen on Proton Experimental. The other issue is that it needs manual text input, so you need to manually bring up the keyboard, which doesn't really matter on Steam Deck. Just press Steam button and X, you bring up the keyboard, that's fine. Apart from that, it's been reasonably smooth sailing. Now, I've been playing it with the screen locked to 45Hz from the performance menu, with graphics set to medium, shadows on low, and distance quality on low, which has given a mostly smooth experience. I found with the defaults, with the distance quality up higher, it really brought down performance quite a bit more and just made it less smooth overall. Now with those settings, you get between 2 to 3 hours, and when performance does dip down, because we're locking the screen to 45, you won't really feel it as much or even notice many of the smaller dips at all, like you would if you were still using 60Hz. And Disney Dreamlight Valley at 45Hz honestly feels fine and it looks great. Now this really, I initially thought of it as one of those off-screen games. So a game that you play on one screen while you have something running on another. I didn't really think this would be a game to suck me in. I didn't really think it would engross me, or I just thought basically it would be a game to sit and chill out with some music on, or some YouTube in the background, or some rubbish on Netflix, something like that. I honestly didn't think it would be much more than that, just a chilled out, casual experience mainly for Disney nuts. But then I started playing more of it, and now after this video I'm probably going to go and play some more. I actually genuinely like it. Disney Dreamlight Valley is what they are hoping to turn into a sort of live service life sim for current and future Disney characters, movies and shows. You'll get to bring out your inner princess or prince or whatever you want to be in the game. You'll meet lots of characters including Merlin, Goofy, Uncle Scrooge, and the list just keeps going on. I honestly hate to admit it again, but I am actually enjoying it. Just running around doing various quests, earning money, doing a little digging, some fishing, and gradually unlocking more of the game as time goes on. It really does grow on you, especially if you like games like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon, that sort of genre. It also eventually syncs up to real-time day and night, and characters that you meet have their own sort of schedule, and so it rewards playing it at different times, not all in one go. It has those elements that sort of hook you in to keep coming back for more. You just want to get one more hour before bed or before you go to work. It's a really big surprise overall. I'm going to put a link to the Steam page in the description, but I just wanted to let you know that it is working really quite nicely on Steam Deck. Just switch to Proton Experimental and change some of those settings that I said about earlier, and you should be pretty much good to go with this. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.